Well, hello. Welcome to Relationship Coaching Live. We're back here, always here on Tuesdays and Fridays. And now I'm going live on Instagram. Yay. All right. We're all set, you guys. So, today, I know last week we talked about narcissistic abuse, and we will continue that series, but I wanted to take a little break from that and go back to my book Love at First X, which is a humorous guide to coping with breakups and making the most out of your relationship with your ex lover, ex husband, ex boyfriend, ex wife, ex whatever. So, welcome to those that are joining in. I see we have one on Facebook. Welcome to the live. We are talking about breakups today. So we had talked about breakups as far as the different stages of breakup, which is actually the grieving stages. So after you break up, right? Because this book is about the breakup aftermath after you break up. So the first stage of grief is denial. We covered that, and you can go back to the other lives and check it out. We talked about denial, and everything I talk about is on my book, Love at First X. You can get it at the State of Grace shop. Here you go. And you can get the PDF copy of my book. So the first stage of grief is denial. The second one is anger. And the third one, which we're going to cover today, is bargaining. Okay. So the bargaining stage, I call it the ends justify the means, or as Machiavelli would say, let the bargaining begin. Um, so by now you have gone through anger and denial, and that's a lot to go through, right? So then sometimes we go through this period if especially if somebody broke up with us, we go through a period that we're just going like, okay, maybe I can get my ex back, right? And we're kind of hoping that that would be the case. So we're willing to do anything to get our ex back, anything. And my eyes are going because I'm reading here from the book, not reading, but just going over it. So, sometimes during this stage, people get a little bit desperate and they will, stalk their exes. They will try to get back with them. By the way, if you're an ex, let's see, we're going live on X, and you can actually comment on X, and the comments will show up here on my streaming service. So let's see, we have two people from X. See, I conjured up the X people. I love people on X. You guys are so loyal. You always show up here, and I love it. For those who just joined, I wanted to let you know, first of all, you can comment. Feel free to comment and ask me questions or whatever. This is Relationship Coaching Live. I'm here to help you guys. So I'm reading from my book, or just it's based on my book. I'm not literally reading it, but Love at First X, which is a humorous guide to coping with breakups and making the most out of your relationship with your ex-lover. So for those who joined, we're talking about the grieving stages, and there's five of them. And we already covered the denial and anger, and now we're going to cover the bargaining. And during this stage, the bargaining stage, a lot of people are trying to figure out ways to get back to their ex, to get them back, and to bargain with them. Um, and sometimes, you people will start stalking their exes, which I do not recommend. That's not. Hi, Rod. Welcome to the live. Thank you for joining. I see some of your names. I don't see the names of people on Twitter. So whoever you are, thank you. Thank you for joining. Um, so um, I would say, you know what? I know that sometimes we're like, oh man, I need to get them back. I miss them. And that's normal. But bargaining, unless you think that you guys stand a chance, I would say stay away from the bargaining stage. But again, it's a stage of the grieving process. So, you know, we can try to shun it or to stay away from it. But sometimes, the feeling of the desire to do this, to bargain with our ex to get them back, is stronger than anything else. And I get it, it happens. So, hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. So, anyway, you will, try to make negotiations with this person to get them back. And if nothing works, then it's time to move on. Really, time. I think this is a good stage for us to figure out, okay, we can move on now. We really don't stand a chance of this person being back into our lives. So let's just move on. Um, so here I have a list of what to do during this stage, okay? Focus on positive things that bring you joy and peace, like work, hobbies, family, or friends. So that's the what to do. I always have a what to do and what not to do list on the grieving stages for after a breakup. What to do: refocus your obsession and turn it into cash by being more kind of an obsession to get them back. Sometimes I've had that happen. Like I want them back. And if I could turn all that obsession or and work and whatever into productive stuff, like work, or just focus, I think getting away from um trying to get them back is really the best thing to do, in my opinion. The other stages are a little bit more intense, but this one, yeah, you can bargain with yourself. This is my feeling. You can bargain with yourself and get yourself out of this stage. How about that? You don't have to necessarily go through all the stages, and they're not necessarily in order, by the way. The 5 stages of grief, they can be, in different order. The bargaining stage could be first instead of the denial. I don't know, it's just everybody's different and everybody grieves in different ways. So what to do: this is a good piece of advice, you guys. So write a list of why, excuse me, you don't want your ex back. Turn it into a refrigerator magnet. Now you can get stuff done like that, anywhere. So, yeah, go ahead and just write yourself a big note like, do not contact the ex. Okay. Don't do it. Um, what not to do. This is what you shouldn't do, in my estimation. I'm not telling you what to do. Again, this is all. I wrote this book after 2 breakups in 9 months that I had. I know I told you guys the story. If you never heard it, that's why I wrote the book. So I would definitely stay away, from contacting the ex. I've done it. And let me tell you, when I did it, and they contacted me too, and it's so painful, especially for this particular one. It was so painful that I was like, this is such a bad idea. Blocking them, that's another thing you can do, to block them if you have that desire, but of reconnecting with them, but that's not the best thing for you, especially if you are getting out of a narcissistic relationship and of an away from a narcissistic abuser. I would block them, and this is what happened to me. I blocked this person, and then I unblocked because, again, the bargaining, well, maybe I can get this person back, even though he was dating somebody else immediately. They need prey, they need another supply, the narcissistic abuser. So he immediately went to someone else, but it's in the beginning, he would contact me all the time, right? And I'd blocked him, and then I unblock him, and then block him and unblock him. And it was just so crazy mentally and, psychologically and emotionally, that I was like, you know what, I'm going to block him and I'm going to stick to it, because this is just too much, too painful. All right, so what not to do, you guys, during the bargaining stage. Do not turn your bargaining with your ex into stalking, theft, or unalive. Seriously, some people do that. They're obsessed. Let them go. I would say just let them go. It's okay. They're not for you, obviously, if you're having problems. Some people sometimes reconnect and it's okay, but I find out that when I reconnect with someone from my past, then I remember, they do something and I'm like, oh, this is why it didn't work out. So do not make a refrigerator magnet with the reasons why you should get back to your with your ex. Don't do that. Don't make a list of why. Just, I would say, focus on other things, and that obsession and that desire to get back with your ex, channel it into something else. Some couples sometimes break up, they come back together. Every case is different, but I find that channeling that desire to get your ex back into something productive is, to me, a really good strategy. It works for me. Okay. So that's part of the book, that I actually have it on the State of Grace shop. As you can see there, I have a PDF copy of this with a different cover. Actually, I changed the cover. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to talk about, I'd love to hear any questions or things that you would like to talk about. So let me look. Grieving stages of a breakup. So let's see what other people have to say. Let's see. The 13 stages of a breakup. Let's look at this. This is interesting. 13? Dang, that's a lot of stages. What in the world? Okay, so let me see if I can share. Here it is. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so the 13 stages of every breakup and how to make each one suck less. Oh, I love this. So at this point, let's see. Let's see if they have like a list. Ambivalence. Okay, yes. This one, I mean, I made it simple, and what I did in my book, I um, paralleled it to the grieving stages that are the classic grieving stages. And again, like we were saying before, in a breakup, sometimes things, don't go straight. Like this is one, stage one, two, three, four, five. Even with grieving, it doesn't, but especially with this. And I love that they're talking about ambivalence on this one. Should you break up? Should you stay together? Can you really love someone who did this, and that? But what about the redeeming qualities? Again, maybe a good idea would be, if you're in this stage, just go ahead and write pros and cons of being with that person. And also, I would write something like what they did specifically that made you break up with them, if you were the one that broke up, or if they broke up with you, I would put the reason and see if it's their reality and their perception. But if it's something that you think, okay, it resonates, they're correct, maybe I can change this behavior. So that would be a way to make it a positive, I think. So ambivalence would be one. Euphoric recall. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, we've all been here. So you've broken up and suddenly everything about your ex is all sunshine and daisies. Yes. And this happens also, like I found out when I break up with someone, and then, you know, for like, let's say 10 years. I have somebody like for, I think it was 10 years that I didn't see him, right? And so when we reconnected, I was like, well, maybe, he changed, maybe yeah. And I remember he was so great at this and so wonderful to me and this and that. But then I completely forget why I broke up with them. And then it comes back again, like I said before. you know, you might try it again, and then you're like, oh yeah, kind of like J Lo and Ben. You know, they're. I don't know if they're gonna break up. I'm not. That's none of my business. But it feels like the second time they're having the same type of problems that they had in the beginning, where he's more private and she is not as private. She even did a movie and a documentary and a whole, I think the movie's like a musical, and everything about like the greatest story never told. And even on the documentary, Ben is like, he didn't feel comfortable. She was showing some love letters that he had written to her. So I feel like they do love each other in that case, but the second time around, the same problems just popped. Even if I'm sure they tried to work them out, but it feels to me, from all the pictures that we see, that it's just not working out. That's my feeling. But again, I could be wrong. So I let me see. Let's look at let's see who's on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining on Instagram and on X. I love you guys. Thank you. I do this too because I love to help. And also, by the way, if you subscribe to the State of Grace Fraga YouTube, I will send you a free copy of my book. So DM me. If you're on X, go ahead and send me a DM and I will send you a free copy. But you have to show me a screenshot because YouTube doesn't tell me who joins all the time. It's really weird. So that's one thing. And by the way, all my links are on Linktree/Grace Fraga, super easy to remember. But anyway, let's go back to I love this list. This is such a great list. Making sense of it all. Oh, yeah. This is when you feel like your brain cells are firing at a million miles per hour as you try to come to terms with your relationship's dissolution. People tend to analyze the explanation of why the relationship was terminated and obsess over the fine details. Again, yes, great to do that and to go over what went wrong, but it is what it is, and the time already passed, and you try to make it work. And even if you change, still your essence is the same. So I don't know. Yeah, we kind of make. I think making sense of it all works if we are really into evolving and making ourselves better. And so I think what I do with my relationships, my personal experiences, I look back and I'm like, yeah, that was a different version of me at that time. And yeah, I was not really evolved in this area, or I wasn't really aware of certain things in a relationship or within myself. And so, yeah, I think that relationships are great when you try to make sense, but use that to evolve, to make yourself a better person. So numbness. Okay, I did not prepare all this, by the way. I never prepare these lives except what I have written in my book, by the way. So it's all just like going with the flow, baby. That's what I'm all about. So numbness. Okay. Yeah, son, not everyone goes through this phase. Yeah, I'm more into feeling than numbness. And numbness, I guess, is like when you feel so much that you just don't feel anymore, which would make sense, right? Um, yeah, I've had it. I don't know. Have any of you guys had the numbness part of the breakup? I feel like, yeah, sometimes I have had it. Like, especially like I don't want to date anyone because of what happened. Just I'm just like disenchanted. Yeah. I think I have. And by the way, you guys, if you need counseling, betterhelp.com has affordable rates for counseling. So remember that, betterhelp.com. And if you want to make your relationship better, or you're dating, or you just broke up, especially if you just broke up and you need support, I do relationship coaching, and you can actually buy bundle packages and merchandise also on the stateofgraceshop.com. So there are bundle packages for relationship coaching, and I offer a 30-minute free relationship coaching if you send me a screenshot also of the State of Grace Fraga. So you can either get the book, a PDF copy, or 30 minutes of relationship coaching with me on Zoom. So just DM me a screenshot of your subscription and just say, hey, I was on your live and you said that we can get the book or the 30-minute relationship coaching. So either one works, whatever, you guys prefer, whatever is best for you. Okay. So let's go back to this list that I freaking love, you guys. This is great. Denial. Well, we talked about this already, right? Um, the denial stage is when you're having a hard time acknowledging that your relationship is over. We touched upon that on We also touched up on anger. The anger stage, people are no longer denying what's happened, they're looking back and feeling anger. Yep. So that's technically the second stage. The third stage is the bargaining, which we talked about today, right? During this stage, the people tend to imagine ways they could have handled the situation differently to possible have had the better outcome, right? Um, and some people, besides that, they're trying to connect with their exes. I found that because I did my book, I did a lot of research also what people do and what people don't do. So let's see the next one, sadness. Absolutely. And I feel also whenever we have anger or sadness, instead of just putting that feeling down, like, no, 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 I'm not going to feel this. Just, I feel like what I do, especially when I went through my cancer journey, because talking about grief on that, um, I just let it flow. And then I do the flip method. Like, okay, I know I'm sad and I'm crying, I'm going to flip it and I'm going to be grateful for everything that I have in my life. So the gratitude flip, I call it, is really comes in handy. I find it's really good. So I don't know if you guys want to try it. I highly recommend it. Um, and then let's see what we have. Sadness. Social media changes. Oh, yeah, totally. Absolutely. So, social media makes it really hard to feel like you've moved on. That's why I highly recommend blocking. But we all have a fake profile that we kind of follow our exes with. I do that. I'm guilty. I'm not going to deny it. I've done it. I still sometimes do it. I'm not going to say to whom, who I'm looking on Instagram and other things, but we all have that. And some of them actually I stayed friends, so we're still friends on all socials. But I believe in the blocking. Blocking just puts distance a little bit and kind of like prevents you from going to their profile all the time. Apparently, here I see they want me to find a big truck, to buy a big truck. I already bought my car, so that is not for me. Bye. Look, and they took it out. Oh my gosh, did you guys see that? Okay, apparently now I need a new bra. Okay, okay, I hear you. No, you know what? I already bought my bras. I don't need them anymore. Thank you, though. So move on to something else. Okay, this is fun, you guys. Maybe we should do this every time I share a screen. Are they still in the bras? Yeah, apparently they think I need a new bra. Okay, good job. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion, but no. So relapse. Okay. Yes, sometimes heartbreak can bring you back together. Okay. Um, but it's just a relapse. There might be a moment of relief, but then the negative dynamics of the relationship become more prominent and you break up again. Again, the J-Lo and Ben thing. We should call it the J-Lo and Ben effect, right? I think that would be very accurate. The relapse, J-Lo and Ben. Acceptance. Okay, well, this is like we're going to talk about this from my book next time. Acceptance, the comparison dating phase. Yes, you compare the next time you date, you compare the new people to your ex. I know. And forward motion. It's like, okay, I did it. I moved forward. I'm done. All right. So, all right, you guys, we've been live for 24 minutes. I love doing this. I love helping other people. And if you can support me and help me grow with subscribing to my YouTube channel, and just being on the lives is big support. And I love to support others and help others. Um, so I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me. Also, before I go, the State of Grace shop, I have tons of fun merch. I have t-shirts with Grace rules. Okay. I have, if you are one of my male fans, you should get this one. I'll post a picture. I had one guy get it the other day and he sent me a picture. I have other guys get it, but this guy particularly sent me a picture. It's Grace's Dudes, because I have my guys that I freaking love and they're Grace's Dudes. We have desk mats. Also, make a long story short, shut up. Grace rules. Those are Grace rules. And then I have positive affirmations like this one: dream big and create your own story. Okay. So I have, and I keep putting new stuff, and I added now Buddha with Booty. I'm going to show you, which I freaking love those. So let me go and share screen. And the Buddha with Booty, they're new. And let me see, browse new merch. Okay. It's considered new merch. Okay, good. So I'm going to share with you guys, share screen. Okay. Thank you for all the people that are joining on Instagram. I appreciate you guys. So here we have, okay. So these are my favorite ones. Okay. And I have teas, mugs, and desk mats. I'm going to keep adding because this is going to be more and more every time. So this is my favorite. Release them with love, like toxic people, narcissistic abusers, release them with love, then put them on your shit list. And that's my Buddha with Booty series. And being an asshole is a choice. Choose another hole. So that's some of my stuff. If you want to browse and see and get something, by the way, I'm going to put it here. Create a banner. Discount 20% off the Grace shop. Okay, just for this month. Okay, 20% off on the State of Grace shop.com if you put the code Grace Shop. So if you want to take advantage of that for the whole month of June, that's going to be the case. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you for staying. I love you guys on X. You stay like the whole time. And I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry about the noise. They're mowing the lawn or something next to me. But anyway, have an amazing rest of your day. Oh my God, they're getting so loud. What in the world? I live in a busy street, but this is crazy. So perfect time to end the live. And I will see you guys on Friday. We are here at 3 p.m. I'm here at 3 p.m. on Relationship Coaching Live. And then we have a live on Thursday, the Tias at noon Pacific time. And then Cancer Joy Club with Jasmine Fontes. Have it at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And the Tias, of course, with Stephanie Tejada, my partner in crime. All right, you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I love you and stay healthy. Bye.